I just saw the new Yorgos Lanthimos film, Kinds of Kindness. I was in no way prepared, and I had a lot of fun. So I hadn't read a synopsis for this film. I hadn't seen a trailer. I didn't even know it was an anthology film. I went in completely blind, just knowing Yorgos Lanthimos made it. I'm pretty sure Emma Stone and William Dafoe were in it, and that's it. And, yeah, no regrets on that. No regrets to the point where I kind of don't really want to get into the plot necessarily. The trailer didn't, and I just feel like you kind of don't need to going in. Here's what I'll say. It is an anthology film. It's 3 different stories with the same actors in it. There are some common threads. People wanting to have sex with Willem Dafoe characters. Mentions of children in various ways. I think there were eggs in all of them. I don't know if that was on purpose, but there were eggs. I think the main sort of reoccurring theme is the lengths that people will go to, the insane lengths people will go to gain back their demented version of what is their status quo. The desperate acts people can be pushed to when confronted with the idea that their way of life may have to change. Even if nothing might be going on, it's all in their head, it doesn't really matter. There are some warnings I can put in here. Story 3 has an essay situation. Story 2 has mentions of cannibalism. I would say that if you are specific to something, you should always just go check Does the Dog Die? For any kind of film you're going to watch, because they're so detailed on there. I will say just in general, though, if you are a fan of Yorgos Lanthimos, you're probably going to enjoy this film. The whole time watching it, I kept thinking about how it so reminded me of his earlier work. Things like Alps or Dogtooth or even like The Lobster. One kind of reminded me of Killing a Sacred Deer. That kind of, for the pre-Favorite era, as much as I do love Favorite and Poor Things, the pre-Favorite era. And then I realized that he co-wrote it with his writing partner of those films, and everything made sense. It also kind of reminded me of like a short story that Chuck Palahniuk would have written, the guy who made Fight Club. Any of his short stories that were in things like Haunted, or even like side plots in any of his novels. These weird sort of existing entire universes within the real world that is kind of right there that no one notices. I hope that makes some kind of sense. The idea of like this sort of cult going on, or this sort of just strange reality with its own little rules that's just existing in our world, but no one knows about it. The acting here also is fantastic. It's really great to see throughout the stories them playing vastly different characters. I also really love Jesse Plemons. I find it distracting all the time that he looks like the child of Philip Seymour Hoffman and Matt Damon. But I think he's a fantastic actor, and I like seeing him in more prominent roles, so that's super cool. This movie is a lot. It's kind of relentless at times. However, I still found it really, really interesting to watch, and you should check it out. And please, if you have seen it, let me know what you think, because everyone I've spoken to has very different opinions, which I find really interesting.